Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age here on Dork Tales. I hope you're all doing well tonight, and I hope you are excited for some amazing news that we have for you. But first, I'm your storyteller, Kelly. Are you seeing him? And I am very excited to be here tonight for the aforementioned news and for the game that we have in store for you. It's been a little while since we played Mage the Victorian Age, and I can't wait to get back to jolly old London and see what else the cast can burn. But before we do that, we should probably meet the cast. Let's go ahead and pass around and get to know everybody. So, starting with Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Dr. Evelyn Taylor, our Society of Ether member. Etherite.
Nice. Nice. Any fun news or anything that we need to know?
I don't think so.
Nice. All right. Let's pass over to Amy.
Hi, I am Amy. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I am playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the Celestial Chorister / Cult of Ecstasy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any fun news on your end?
Not particularly. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that's fair. All right. Down to Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I play Josephine Carrington, our resident Order of Hermes Banitharsis. And yeah, do we want to talk fun news or do we want to do that after?
I'll tell you what, we'll do Robin, then we'll come back to the fun news.
Sounds good.
So hey, Robin.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, as does Darcie Harkness, our member of the Verbena. And I guess personal exciting news. I got a good chunk of Christmas shopping done today, which was just hell on earth because I hate mall parking lots with a passion.
They're the worst during the quiet season.
Yeah, so I guess exciting that I got most of my Christmas shopping done. And I finally get to try out my green contacts for Darcie. A little lighter green than Keiko's because she's a little bit of a more realistic green. So yeah, just exciting to have another costume item added into the cosplay.
Nice. All right, and let's hop back over to Jen. What's the exciting news that I've been hearing so much about?
Well, it would seem that on Wednesday we reached 115 patrons, which means that Technocracy is a go. Ooh.
That's right. So we had leveraged that at 115 patrons over at patreon.com/dorktales, where you can make sure this actually happens by keeping those numbers up as the months tick by. That if we hit 115, Jen would turn the backdoor pilot from Extra Life August into a full game that would run once a month. And a Technocracy game featuring the entire cast here, plus some friendly faces in the storyteller seat that aren't mine. I guess just basically us switching corners.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less. I can't tell you. I've already had like 3 people message me asking if you had room for guest stars, by the way. So
amazing.
Technocracy will be running about once a month, starting in January, February, somewhere in there probably, and will go on until it's done. And to keep it going, you can hit up Patreon, make sure that we stay at 115 patrons or higher as a safety buffer, and you'll get access to the content of the $5 tier. After 3 months of being in a Patreon exclusive, it will start being uploaded to YouTube, and we'll have broadcasts on Twitch. So yeah,
when it happened and I was all kind of like, oh wow, yeah, this thing is actually happening. A friend of mine who is a patron as well, just to support the channel, was like, I could always remove my patronage so you don't have to do as much work. I was like, don't you dare.
Don't do it. I know who that guy is. Don't let him do it.
I won't. No.
Hopefully he's still enjoying the show.
Yeah, and hopefully we get 10 more patrons, and then I have to panic at the Citadel.
Yeah,
which that's what that game's gonna be called now. I'm just gonna call it Panic at the Citadel.
Panic at the Citadel. Yeah, because at this point, Robin because D&D games require art commissions and things like that. Robin's also on the hook now to start putting together a cast and art for her monthly game of what is it? Adventures Through the Radiant Citadel.
Journeys
Something
through
like that.
the Radiant
Journeys
Citadel.
through the Radiant Citadel.
Yeah.
Yep. I love me some Journey.
Right?
So yeah, I think that's all that's going on here. I'm just gonna close down Audition, and I'm gonna close down Word, and I'm gonna close
that
down.
damn Word.
If it was Microsoft Word crashing this, I'm gonna be super salty. Okay, I think I've closed down everything that it potentially could have been. Woo. Except for game capture, which is a registry issue of all things. So,
Huh.
okay.
Good.
I'm just going to double check real quick in my settings. I'm going to look at every single
what's
thing.
good though? This gives me a moment to go grab my dice because I forgot to.
That's fair. This was all
we
just we didn't actually
ploy.
we didn't crash. It was just a ploy. Okay, I can
It's
just
all
close
just a
my
ploy.
registry, right? Like I can just close that. That's probably fine.
I have been doing this on the regular. It seems like I get everything ready for game.
Yep.
And the one thing I forget is the math rocks that determine my ability to do things.
Mhm. You don't need those,
No.
right? I mean,
I'm like,
honestly,
why would I ever think I need those? Like,
honestly, at this point, we could just be like, so,
I do love
you
my
roll-
tray for
you-
them.
It's so
Ooh.
good.
It's such a good tray, right?
That's a very good tray.
Because
Very good.
I have the
3 sets of dice go around the edge.
I
Yep, all
have
organized.
I have mine for all my D&D dice, which it holds 1, 2, 3, 4,
And the
5
lid is
sets
so
around
pretty.
it.
Yeah, you have the spare one when they
Yes.
when they shipped mine twice. 'cause-
And it worked perfect for the mage.
Yeah.
Mage game. Keeps all my
I,
mage dices.
Yeah, I've got a set of D&D dice in here because now I need it for Dragonlance. Woohoo! And then I've got a set of D10s because I need it for this. But I've also got a half set of D10s in here as well, mostly because I don't know where the other half is. But my Monday night game, it's obviously not a streamed game. We leveraged some rules from, we play Vampire the Masquerade, and we leveraged some rules from V5 just kind of into Masquerade. And so you need like hunger dice, so you need a separate set of dice to show that, which is cool.
I've been thinking that I need to get a tray, like a tea tray style tray for my desk. Because if we start traveling in the Victorian era, I have the most glorious teapot. I just need a cozy for it. It's an elephant. It's a white china elephant with little
Ooh.
flowers on it.
A white
adorable.
elephant, you say?
And I have also a ton of teacups that were my grandma's that I could clean and switch through so I could have a different teacup every time. But the problem is they hold so little, I need to have a way to keep my tea warm so I can make fresh tea constantly.
True. All right. So, folks, you ready to top in a game?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Okay. All right. So hopefully OBS won't crash. Cue OBS crashing in about 3 seconds.
There's already a meme in the Discord.
Is
About
there?
OBS?
No.
It's specifically for me, but yeah, it's great.
Okay. So right now, doing a quick. Is it that good? Nice.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
going to take 5 seconds to look at this meme, and then we're going to start.
PR Multiverse, it's always a joy to see you in the chat because the memes are fire.
All right, I have to
I've
open
been added as a
Discord.
friend on Snapchat. No, I haven't. Stop trying to fish me, man. Like, I don't care. Getting text messages.
I always find it weird the number of times I get things of like, so and so wants to add you on Snapchat. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
They
been
they
getting
can go and
emails
get
for it.
bent.
I don't use Snapchat. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't use it anymore.
I use it because it's one friend of mine from college who that's the only way he communicates.
Nice. All right,
That's
fair.
adorable PR.
That's pretty good. All right, so folks, it's time to hop into game. Well, Random, we're doing fine. Thank you. We were we kept crashing, but now that you're here, that won't happen. So, thanks. All right, so without further ado, let us get ready to head into Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. As we do that, Paradox, just giving you a quick example of what I have on the sheet. Right now I have Evelyn with 8, Jen with 0, or Josephine with 0. I was like, J stands for. Chastity with
I'm
5 and
pretty sure-
Darcie with 4.
I'm pretty sure personally I have a lot more than 0, but
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Wait, I have 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did I not mark it on the character sheet after that session? Didn't a bunch get through because I got hit by that live wire because of Paradox? I thought that was the reaction. I got it right away.
Oh, because you had the
No.
thing where it made your clothing all like permanently gross or something.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
that only-
grossified.
That only took a couple off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Surprised I have that much.
You did a
Oh.
bunch of vulgar stuff.
Uh,
And if I'm wrong, I don't care because this is what it's going to be. So,
And you said
It's-
4 for me, right, Kelly?
I have 4 for you. Yes.
Yep, perfect. Kill.
Okay. Out of quick question, what did you have yours listed at, Christine?
I had it at 5.
5. Okay. Split the difference between our note taking and call it 6.
I mean, no worries. I may not have marked it down because I don't always remember to update the actual character sheet instead of just noting
Well, and
it.
I use a post-it that travels between pages, so it's not always the most accurate, but it's pretty accurate. All right, we'll find out though. All right, let's hop into game. Last time on Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, you all returned to Teddy's family estate. There you planned what would happen over the next days inside of London before your eventual final trip to Paris. You decided that you needed to go and investigate the good doctor's laboratory at the Tower of London or nearby. That you had a date with a certain lord. And that you had to go see Dinesh and go do a little bit of shopping before it was time to go. And so today, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. There's a low mist clinging to the ground, a fog that fills the streets like a molten cloud, sucking all of the light out of London. It is oppressive on the lungs, and you see more than a few ladies, gentlemen, and common folk walking around with scarves around their mouths or handkerchiefs. Those of you who are used to London, or some of the larger cities of the industrialized world, make a habit of carrying cloves, spices, perfumes, potpourris with which to breathe through. Today is one of those days. The rain has given way for the first time in several days, and instead you are greeted with this wall of fog. Where are you heading first?
Did we want to go to that black market on the way to the tower to get those herbs?
Yeah, I think that was very un-Victorian. Yes, that would probably work well.
How are you going about getting there? You've assembled in the main room of the Dashwood estate in London, in Notting Hill. In the main entryway, you've grabbed your things, your parasols, your jackets, and what have you.
It was Dr. Freeman who needed them.
Yes.
Did he give us a sense of where the market was?
Did you would you inquire further for a bit more information?
Well, if we need to go there, I need to know where it is.
So I have a note here saying the Edgeworth Club, but I don't know where exactly that is.
Fair. heading back into the kitchen to ask him. It's a quick discussion. The Edgeworth Club runs it. There's an underground market. Well, underground is a bit incorrect. You're going to the Underbridge Market. There at London, at the Tower Bridge.
Ah, okay.
There's an entrance located just on the, on the opposite shore. Over
So
by
on that
St.
note,
Catherine's. Sorry.
It shouldn't be too unusual to see several ladies there.
Of course not.
We can simply get a cab.
It does have a bit of a scent, though, being that close to the Thames.
I imagine it does. Most of London has quite a scent.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I do miss the fresh breeze of home compared to the musk of London, shall we say.
I have to agree with you there.
You don't have to be too polite, Darcie. Everybody else calls it a stench.
Aye, the stench of London then. Did you have any amounts in mind, Doctor?
Whatever you can gather, I suppose. A few sprigs of the leafy ones should be sufficient. But whatever the pounds that I provided could require. Should there be any remainder, put it towards your travel expenses.
It's much appreciated.
I wish you the best of luck today, and I'll start making preparations for our eventual voyage with Mr. Dashwood.
Try not to get into too much trouble. I mean, not let him get into too much trouble. You know, that might be a tall order.
Thankfully, I am
Mr.
an equally
Dashwood
tall
is
order.
involved.
My apologies, Doctor. You were saying?
What?
I apologize. I'm a bit out of sorts today. It's nerves, I suppose. I haven't been back to France in some time.
Did you not leave there on good terms, Doctor? I don't mean to pry too much, but
I suppose that we all have our ghosts where we leave them. But no, this is a pleasant twitterpation. I am anxious to return home. To a place where the looks are a bit less hostile.
I've always wanted to go to Paris as well. Seems like quite a different place than even London here.
I'll admit I hadn't thought terribly much on it, though. Was the original destination.
Where was your
Yes.
original destination? Was it not your original destination?
here was not. London was not. We didn't mean to come to.
Oh, it worked out for the best. I feel very comfortable knowing that you have such a good gaggle of motley with you, Doctor. Perhaps they'll keep you out of trouble.
Oh, Doctor, if you, I'm going to be going out, but if you see Maya was still sleeping this morning, when she rises, could you let her know that I might want to speak to her a little bit later before my evening out with the Lord? Oh my God, what's his name? Robin's blanking.
McDuff.
What the fuck is his name?
Do we need to let's pause for a moment? Does anybody have any other questions? You're talking about Lord Macduff.
Macduff. Oh my God.
Lord
Why?
Scrimger Macduff. Does anybody? I'm seeing our private chat and people panicking about names and places because we haven't played in a month. So let's pop out for 1 sec and say, does anybody have anything else they'd like to refresh themselves of while we're all just kind of stammering over trying to remember? Because even I'm doing it a
Did
little.
I forget his
I don't know how the fuck
name?
you forgot Macduff, but.
No,
I remember if Chast knows about this situation because I'm about to
yeah.
be like, what?
yeah,
Oops.
as you were saying that, the phrasing "my date with the Lord" did not sound.
I know. I was trying to figure out. I was like in my head. I was trying to figure out his name, and then just stumbled over the entire sentence before that, not sounding Victorian at all. It's like, what the fuck is his name?
Man. Okay.
Yeah, so is our Robin right in the chat? It was 3 things or 2 things?
It's like 3 things. Is what
3
I
things?
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Holy moly, phenol derivative and spearmint in large quantities.
I forget
Okay.
what the
I wasn't sure if the fennel derivative was
the fennel
I have
derivative.
golden lovage.
golden lovage.
There we go.
Golden
Perula-
lovage or silphium, whichever you prefer.
Diana and moly.
Also, hello for the raid. Hello from the raid. Hello from the raid.
Oh,
Hello.
two
We're
raids.
we're taking a moment out of character to make sure that our shopping list is accurate before we hop back in.
So it's holy moly, golden lovage, or silphium and spearmint.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, perfect. I knew I knew I missed the second one, but I was wrong. It's a phenol derivative. I knew I had that in my notes.
I seem to recall I was very tired and not feeling great last time we played, so I took no notes.
That's fair.
Oh,
I'm very
and-
tired
yeah.
tonight, so I feel like I just tried to
Okay.
push up glasses I'm not wearing. So if anybody who checks the VOD, I just poked myself in the eye and went, wait, what?
Also, it's true. Dim Aman's papa. I can't remember every name of every lord that proposes to me. It's just
It's just
too
such a
many.
common occurrence, really.
It's
That's
too
true.
many.
Lordy.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the
There's holding with
compliment
the
there, Jordy.
vampires.
I'm sorry?
Yes, thank you.
Huh? Oh, there was the thing about the vampires that.
Yes,
that
and there are
Josephine
vampires
ran
in the
into.
Abbey. There's panic
That
at the
we had-
Citadel and vampires in the
gonna-
Abbey.
Right.
Pass the
forgot about
vampires
the
off
vampires.
till McDuff.
How could you forget about the vampires in the Abbey?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, so I
passing
think we
on
were
the
going to ignore
vampires.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
just
gonna
leave
hand it
them.
off to
Just-
McDuff. That's
I am
his
so
problem.
tired. I'm sorry.
So
That's
we're
okay,
ignoring
that's
the
okay.
vampires. We're going to the black market to buy 3 herbs.
Yeah.
Then we're going to the Tower of London
Yep.
We
to
wanna go
break
to the tower
into an
during the
NWO
day.
stronghold.
Yeah.
And then
and
you'll
steal
kill
stuff.
3 crabs and bring them to the guildmaster.
And then we're taking Darcie and chaperoning her on a date with Lord Macduff.
And
all of us.
lunch
Well, I
with
think some of
Dinesh?
you are going to see Dinesh at the same time.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you're-
we
I
were
think,
gonna also
I think
go
the
see
party's
Dinesh.
splitting.
I think
Yeah.
we are, yeah. I just don't know what the
Of course we
timeline
are.
for the split is.
I assume
I
that
feel
you're.
like I need at least one of the people who can be discreet, but also is willing to set shit on fire to go with me to the tower, because I'm not going in there alone.
I assume that
I
you're.
offer.
I'm assuming you're
Fire.
all going to the tower right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Alright.
we're doing that first, then?
The way that yes, as of last game,
Okay.
the
Yes.
end of last game, you all decided you were going to the Tower of London slash the bridge slash the market, and then tonight some of you were going to Lord Macduff's to go get down on it, and then some of you were going to have a pleasant Indian dinner with Dinesh.
That sounds perfect.
Boy,
So you-
that's
Cool.
such
I
a
might
mood
need to
shift.
throw over my responsibilities to Darcie to go for a nice Indian dinner.
Just do it. Just leave her alone.
So out of character, I don't know how it's going to play out in character, and we'll figure that out. But out of character, I really want it just to be Josephine going to like watch over Darcie, because that is just a fun duo.
You know what? That's perfectly fine. Chastity's happy to let Darcie make her own decisions. So like,
You know what? At some point, I think Evelyn's going to remember that she's got Mai, who is really in a supervisory capability over Darcie and should be the one looking out for her.
Yep.
Should be.
It's true.
But meh. All right.
But it's
what's up?
Mai. Do you remember Mai in the kitchen with the book and
Yes.
the
The candlestick.
But
Showing
I
the
feel like Evelyn has expressed to
sex
be
books.
sure that Darcie is aware how it will look to people around if she goes around unchaperoned. So it's on her head now. Because she's going to get reminded of that nice Indian dinner.
On her maidenhead.
Random your comments, sir.
Different people will be having different things for dinner. All right. So I think we're all squared away.
okay. Yeah,
Yep.
Is there another meme already?
probably.
Of course there is. It's all the
Yes.
out of character memes tonight.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Back in game. Ready?
Yep.
All right. So let's pick up with my I have a date with the Lord.
Right. If you would let Mai know that I'd like to see her before I embark on my evening with the Lord Macduff. I need to talk with her about some things that may or may not happen, and I may need some help with a bit of witchcraft.
Know about this? Chastity leans over to Josephine, probably.
I didn't know this.
Chastity, it was
about this?
discussed at the breakfast table.
I've been otherwise occupied.
May and Darcie were talking over a whole, like, ritual sex thing.
I will pass this along, and I hope that you have a good night, miss.
Oh, that jogs my memory.
I thank you, Doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Just-
Yes. Well.
I think I was
best,
trying to ignore that. whole thing.
best of.
Good for you that you were able to ignore it. I was asked for a married woman's perspective.
Hmm.
Doctor. And Vivian will
Doctor.
give you a nod and will depart abruptly at this awkwardness.
It's funny because I think Evelyn has slowly been relaxing
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole season so far, because that's probably not how she would have reacted in the first episode to that sort of thing.
No.
Or discussing something so volubly in front of others.
Mhm.
Sorry, I think I seem to be a bit out of sorts still. Yesterday was a very, very long day.
Yes.
I don't blame you for not remembering, but yes, the evening that we got back, Mr. Lord Macduff asked me out on a plans for the theater to go see a show before I leave. He originally asked me to stay back with him, but I said I had to. I felt my destinies are kind of winding with the three of you, and I'd like to see where it is going. I mean, that box said all of our names, so I feel like I don't. You know when the threads of fate kind of pull you, and I'd like to see where that thread leads.
Fair enough.
Fair. Yeah.
Well, shall we to the market then?
I think that's
Aye.
probably best. As soon as this is all done, as soon as we can.
Dr. Taylor, you had, you seem to have a lot of salts and smelling chemicals. Would you mind if I could borrow some to put on a cloth if it's going to get particularly ripe down there?
One moment. Evelyn is going to turn on her heel and stride back into the kitchen and go rummaging through the cupboards for whatever spices might still remain within there. She's going to look for nice scented things like cinnamon.
You know what? Let's find out. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There's definitely nutmeg.
Excellent. Even
other
better.
things from that era, mint, thyme, rosemary, parsley, are all there in very desiccated, dried amounts. But you could probably freshen them up pretty quickly.
Yes, she is going to try to take several of those things, and honestly, anything like nutmeg would probably be stored as the whole nut.
That's true. And then you have to grind
And
it.
it would freshen very quickly once ground, because it retains its scent very strongly for a very long time. She will probably take that and maybe add in a few of the other things and have a quick look around to see maybe there's fresh mint in the garden, because it grows like stink.
Yes,
and
there
make up
is
little-
quite a large patch of mint.
Little sachets that
An encroaching horde of mint threatening to overwhelm the rose bushes type of
I'm
thing.
surprised it hasn't already overwhelmed, considering it's been shut up for so long. But
Well,
the
you'll be
roses
able
were
to trace
tenacious.
it. Yes, you'll be able to trace it to where there was a small walled-off mint garden and herb garden that it has since burst the dams of. It appears that at one point this little bricked-off area with a recess, almost like a crenulated wall, once held the mint at bay, but London's rainy season seems to have spread the bricks enough that some seeds managed to make it down, and it's honestly a wave of mint cascading from this planting pattern.
Yeah, that's about
I
right.
am not surprised.
While Evelyn is doing that, I think Chastity's gonna get in her head to go check that well again and see if there's any more task mushrooms. Probably not, but it's been a couple days.
Tell you what, why don't you go ahead and give me a wits and survival roll to try to forage for them, or perception and survival. Either way will work for me.
Oh, I sure have no survival.
Okay. Well, then
Just
make
+1
me.
difficulty untrained. It looks like.
Yep.
Okay. What's my difficulty?
Your difficulty is going to be 8.
I think I'll go with Chastity and take a look as well. Can I make a similar roll?
Yes, you may.
1 success.
One success.
I do have a
You-
dot of survival. So
Nice. You may. Do you have any prime?
I do.
Okay. Then I'll just assume that you're going to flare it on temporarily without having a roll because it's such a basic thing. Chastity,
I
you
prime
will-
3.
I know.
Okay.
That's how you were able to find it.
Gotcha.
Stuck to the inside of the well, you will see that there is a single toadstool, a little like not a full toadstool. We'll say like a single like shiitake-sized mushroom clinging to the inside. It's a
Never
bright
known that leaves.
vermilion color.
That's probably safe to eat.
And
Was my difficulty 7
7.
because I do have a dot? Yeah, 4 successes then.
okay. Well, Chas grabs the last mushroom, but looking down, you're going to be able to see that quite a bit of the algae on the inside of the moss that is clinging to the inside of the well is glowing. It's about 5 feet down, so you'll need to either get like a stick, a rake, or something like that, or use telekinesis to grab it. Alternatively, dangle Chastity by the legs and just have her do it.
No, I figure I'd have something because I'm not as much of a scientist as Evelyn, but I am still. I do have some scientific leanings like alchemy and stuff, so I probably have something I can just like reach.
I don't know
down
if you have
there with.
anything that can reach, but I will say that there is a tool shed out here for the
Okay,
gardener,
cool.
so you can
Yeah.
easily procure a tool that will allow you to do it.
Cool, and then I'll just put some into like some jars that I have.
That will yield you the remainder of the node, which is let's say high is good for you. That's going to be 3 pieces of tass in the form of this moss.
Nice.
There simply isn't any more than that, despite that you rolled 4 successes.
That's fine. I got something. I'm so low on Quint, even though I have like a high avatar, so because I spent all of it.
And with that survival
Yeah,
rating, you'll be
no,
able to know
Quint
that
as
this
well.
this type of moss is edible.
Cool.
It's kind of like it's a dark, kind of blue-green moss that is not only edible, you can also be steeped into tea if you'd rather suck it out that way. It would taste very similar to like kind of like a dirty matcha.
Okay. Cool.
Or like chewing grass. Okay. Meanwhile, while this is going on, what are Darcie and Evelyn doing?
So Evelyn's been collecting mint and nutmeg to make she's going to take 4 little handkerchiefs and tie it up with a bit of twine into little bundles. And I don't know, is there anything I could do to it to make it a little stronger, more potent, so that basically we can hold it to our nose and not have to, or get a refresh from the London smell?
Yeah, totally. I'd say you have matter 3.
Yeah.
You could do a matter 3 effect that would affect basically anybody inside of a short range of you.
Mm-hmm.
That just would be an anti-stink zone.
Okay.
So go ahead, just give me, that'll be difficulty of 6.
Okay. Matter 3. 2 successes.
2 successes. So
Got a
that
7 and
sounds
a
good.
6.
So you'll be able to keep that going, basically making it easy to breathe outside. I'll say for the remainder of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to probably refresh it once you got where you were going, but it's a one-way ticket at least.
Okay. So I can like make up little packets that maybe we pin to our inside of our jacket or something.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me.
And that it extends it to the others.
Mm-hmm. It's such a basic effect that I figure that 3 is plenty.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll do that. And while that's going on, Darcie, what are you up to?
I think Darcie's going to just start while we're waiting to get going. I think Darcie's going to spend every extra minute of her day pouring through her mother's grimoire to research rituals and stuff like that in case things happen later in the evening. So I think she's just gonna she'll be like half listening if Evelyn is the kind of person that mutters what she's doing. Darcie will kind of be like half listening to hear how she's doing stuff, but then also like just reading her mother's spell book as well.
I think it's the sort of muttering at most that is, oh yes, and that particular part, oh, and nutmeg doesn't have capsaicin, but it does have, and going off into like very technical chemical sort of names, but bits and pieces, so like half of the conversation is missing, it's happening only in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And half of it she's muttering aloud, or a quarter.
Yeah.
So it's very disjointed.
Yeah. So I think she'll start just researching her mother's book.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intelligence and investigation roll.
Oh, I don't have any dots in
investigation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, don't worry about it. You can make me an intelligence and a call roll for something.
I have esoterica instead of occult.
Okay. Well, you should start buying up some occult.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me that roll.
Okay. Yeah, I think we had to. I building was such a long time ago. I know I was between occult and esoterica, and I think you swayed me over to esoterica, but I might.
Esoterica is good for practices, but occult's more for like hard knowledge.
Okay.
You'll pick that up as time passes. For sure.
I was gonna say it did make more sense in the beginning for Darcie to have esoterica opposed to occult.
Esoterica is like folk remedies and practices and leaving milk out for the fairy. Occult is like knowing the seals of Solomon and like very specific things.
What's my difficulty?
Your difficulty on this is going to be 6.
All right. Well, I failed instead of botched because I rolled 2 1s and a 7 and a 9. So
Hey, that's good. Okay, so you fail. So looking through this, you're a bit distracted, a bit Twitter-pated. a bit caught off guard by the things here. And as you're flipping through the book, you're going to be seeing very well drawn sketches of like of the naked human form, of different things with like drawings of like expertly drawn like body parts, genitalia, things like that. And then on the next page, a decapitated goat head with like arrows and diagrams pointing to which part of the goat are best for ritual purposes. It's just very jarring in the mood you're in to go back and forth between those extremes.
Yep. I think if Evelyn looks over, Darcie's cheeks are just going to be bright red reading this. It's just like, okay.
Evelyn, I think, will. Darcie, what are you looking at? Your cheeks are flaming.
My mother's spell book. It's quite detailed. You got that on one page and then that on another page, and it's just, I've never seen quite that much detail drawn on both genitalia and goat heads.
Glancing over, Evelyn, you can see that it has a drawing of like a goat's eyeball separated from the skull itself, with a number of little notations that you can kind of vaguely make out at this distance that are like good for menstruation and memory.
That is
if boiled in a tea, good for hemorrhoids and headaches.
That is quite detailed. That is a very scientific drawing.
Yes.
All right.
Do you think they're finished out in the garden there?
I don't know. I'm ready to go, so let's go check on them.
Me too.
While we were out there, I think Josephine would ask Chastity kind of quietly and as unobtrusively as possible, just being like, how are you doing?
What do you mean?
We've
I'm doing fine.
had some days.
Yeah, I'm just. It's been a long day. I'm a bit tired.
Okay.
I know I'm be fine. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Of course. Oh, hey, look, algae. And find some shiny algae.
Nice. All right, so grabbing those things, you other two will be able to head outside and see them coming up from the well with a few things in hand.
Oh, are you all ready to go?
Aye.
Yes.
Great.
Right, let's get going.
She'll pass one of the sachets to Chastity and to Josephine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tuck it into her jacket. Just her best.
The smells are quite pleasant compared to what we've been dealing with.
And surprisingly, like even when you take it away from your nose now, like it's not that stinky.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of home a little bit.
Oh, good. Well, shall we?
Yes.
We are going to have to try and hail a cab. Hopefully we get a clean one.
And with that, you head out to the road to hail a cab. As you do, it's a
Question.
Mhm.
Entropy handles probability and stuff like that.
Yes.
By using that, could I try and do something just to nudge probability so that the cab we get is a clean one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. I've always wanted to do that. That is in one of my favorite books. In fact, that exact use of magic is in a
Yeah, I'd say
London-based magic book.
matter
That's
one.
awesome.
Matter
Just enough to
one,
give a little
entropy
break in the
2.
rain and have a clean cab pull up.
Matter 1, entropy
Cool.
2. Give it to me. Difficulty 6. Matter to detect the dirt. Entropy 2 to dissuade that from being the next one that stops.
2
Amazing.
successes.
2 successes. All right, stepping out into the fog, there is going to be a bit of a trop, like a little, and a hansom cab is going to pull around the corner with a fairly young mustached man of probably British, but he kind of looks slightly Eastern European, maybe Polish, given
Evelyn
the
will
accent that he
Raise one
speaks with.
gloved hand.
Hello, Mum. Happy to help you.
Thank you. We're going to Tower Bridge.
Of course. And he will hop down. I don't know if that's a Polish accent, but that's what's happening. And he will open the door for you and find that the inside of his cab is fairly spotless.
Excellent.
Oh, looks like we lucked out.
Yeah, I was just going to remark about what a spot of luck. I don't think I've had a cab this clean in my entire 6 months here in London.
Yes. Quite lucky. Evelyn will kind of smirk just a little.
My mother taught me well,
So I can
and
see.
you are my first customers of the day.
Oh,
That always
wonderful.
helps.
Excuse me. And he'll drop the kickstand step and give it a quick wipe with a rag and offer you a hand up.
Excellent. She'll step into the cab.
All right. It's not the fanciest cab, but it is comfortable. And as you step inside, you will... Yeah, this is a good, comfortable mode of transport. Do you all head in?
Yes, Darcie will take a step up and just kind of spread out her skirts in like a nice kind of thing and just like nice
All right.
breath.
The cabbie will shut the door once the last of you gets in, and will begin riding off down the road. Is there anything that you discuss while you're riding, or are you heading straight to this strange market?
Is it like an enclosed cab? I'm sorry, there's Darcie there for a second. Is it like enclosed, or is
Yes.
it like can the cabbie? So the cabbie can't really necessarily like.
Not unless you
muffledly hear us.
like lean out the window and call to him.
Okay.
So no, this is an enclosed cab,
Um,
and he is happy to take you.
Yeah, I would like to do a small bit of forces magic to just like give us that little bit of extra privacy, if that's cool.
Totally. Give it to me at we'll just say difficulty of 5.
That is 1 success.
Okay. Well, you're
Thank
halfway
you for
there to
giving
doing
me
it for a
difficulty
scene.
of 5.
So if you keep going next round for difficulty 6, you'll
Yep.
be able to have it up for more than a second.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, when we get into, I think Darcie's just gonna put up a passive. I think she's just gonna throw up Prime Sight and try and get that for the day too, just to kind of get like a magical. Well, if we're going around, I think she's going to put that on her. I don't think she's gonna buff her strength today, unless she needs to. But I think she's gonna throw up a Prime Sight on herself. She's gonna take.
So
some
how do you
herbs
both go
and-
about doing this?
So first, I got 3 more successes on my second one. So I'm
Perfect.
good.
So this is sealed until you leave it, basically.
Yeah,
You
basically.
can technically leave it, and then the conversations just get weird, and then throughout the day for whoever stays in this cab.
Yeah, try to talk to the cabbie and
Right. Yeah. I will let I'll let people know that I've given us a little bit of extra protection. So if they do want to talk to the cabbie, but let's see here.
So Darcie, her prime for her is a lot of magic circles and like runes. So I think what she does is she'll take a little bit of like ground up extra herb, and she like starts doing like circles on her eyes, and she just basically like does a specific pattern around that, and then as she like gets all the herbs on her, then she just brushes it off. And I think that's what like that act of like taking that off, I think that activates the prime sense for her.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That sounds good. And Jen, what do you do for your side of it?
Yeah, I'm trying to actually just figure out what you do. Well, I can't think of the Latin off the top of my head, but she probably does. She probably mutters a couple of phrases in Latin, as she like her. I can't remember. It's not. Is it specialty? Anyways, her foci for or her instrument for forces, because I'm using forces. I'm pretty sure to like redirect
You
sound,
absolutely
right?
are. Yeah, it's forces too.
Yeah. And but her instrument for that is rope, which is kind of weird. So I think she's like fraying a rope and tying pieces of it like around the doors, essentially, as she mutters Latin under her breath.
Okay. So there is a slight tingle around you, and Darcie, as your prime shield goes up, you're going to be able to see that there is a bubble of energy undulating around this this carriage. What's your forces rating, Darcie? Do you have any? Or you have 2?
Yeah, I have either let me grab my character sheet real quick. I have two forces.
Okay. So you'll be able to see that this is a forces effect that is undulating around the inside of the car.
As a note, because this might be a thing, it's been a while since Darcie's seen Josephine do to do forces magic or do magic at all, and
Yeah.
I went up in Rattray and I got a resonance, so my magic looks different.
Ooh.
Fair. Now it is this kind of like undulating wave of energy, and as you are inside of this, all of you here are going to start to get a little warm. Like it kind of feels like someone turned the heat on inside of the car. Because you have fiery and...
I have fiery, forceful, and static steady now.
Okay.
Static steady was from my
The ride
seeking.
gets a bit smoother. The cobblestones become a little less noteworthy under your feet. And beyond that, it's just kind of a slight warmth radiating like coals have been placed into the furnace.
Yeah, I don't know like if this changes with Darcie's like prime, because I don't think she's doing any effects, but also Darcie a few episodes got entropic merciful as a resonance on her magic, so I don't know what that would mean for her effects.
It would kind of feel like it would feel slightly like you were being observed by almost kind of clinical, like a clinical observation around you. But nothing terribly potent.
Just,
It's a bit warm in here.
I was just thinking that.
Not that I'm complaining, but it's.
Do you mind if and Chas is gonna actually start like looking under this seat and like rummaging through her bag, kind of like her little little satchel thing, and it's just kind of not making a mess, but just like getting in people's space, kind of thing. Does anyone? Does anyone have any liquor or substances? Or I don't want to go in unprepared, but I
don't. I carry a few herbs with me for spells, but I don't think they're really anything that would be of use to yourself. I'm sorry.
At best, I have some alchemical items that are likely not good for you.
Question
Yes.
for Kelly. I think Evelyn has like some very strong straight alcohol on her for her like her chemical reactions. Could she potentially with matter alter it to be weaker?
Yeah, absolutely. You
In a
can
format
totally
that would
you can
be
totally transmute within
consumable?
a state.
Excellent.
Yeah, theoretically, like you could, if you had the right equipment, you'd have to figure out a way to do this. You could take rubbing alcohol, put it in another bottle with water and juniper berries, and make gin by shaking
Darcie, do you
it
have any
vigorously over a
juniper on you?
fire. Like you could do some weird shit.
Did you ask Darcie that?
Yes.
Ooh, does juniper have any sort of healing properties in?
Oh, yeah. It was used
Yeah.
as medicine for
Yeah,
like
okay,
a
then
time.
Darcie probably does have some.
They used
from...
everything, including horse shit, as medicine.
Yeah.
And ground up mummies.
Yeah, no, Darcie probably will reach into her
mummy
bag
jerky.
and I do believe I have some here. Just a moment, please,
What's
and
juniper
she'll kind
going
of
to do?
rummage around and then she'll pull out a few
Excellent.
berries and go, yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
Evelyn's going to proceed to mix stuff in a small glass vial. Give a metal disc to Josephine and ask her to hold it for a moment. Put a piece of charcoal in the middle, light it on fire, hold the thing over it, heat it up, and do her magic to transmute it. What would I need to roll for that?
That would be inside state is matter 2.
Okay. So I can just roll Arete for that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Difficulty?
Difficulty of that's going to be 5.
2 successes.
Nice. Okay, so
I'll keep
doing
swirling
that,
it to heat it up, and I imagine it would turn color once it gets to that point because the juniper would leach out and tint it.
So 2 successes is basically enough that it will eventually.
It's not going to taste good.
It's okay. It's cheap. It's cheap gin. It will remain in that state for the better part of a day before, like,
Alright.
reconstituting to its component parts.
I will
It won't do it while it's inside someone.
put off put out the charcoal, restore it, and the plate. Once I let it cool for a moment on the floor of the cab, cool the vial, cork it, hand it to Chastity. That will last for the rest of the day.
Right.
I would not use it much longer than that because it should separate at that point. For now, about the consistency of gin.
You know, I am not going to question this because you know what? Thank you.
Well, it's
Thank
just,
you.
honestly, it's just diluting the alcohol I already had for chemical purposes. But it was far too strong to drink.
She's gonna, Chassie's gonna is it corked? Because if it is,
Yeah.
she'll uncork it and she'll just take a whiff of it, just kind of like get the,
She's strong.
Clear your head.
well, that's a start. I'm just gonna take a moment to brace my nerves. And she's gonna actually like sit back on the chair, like on the seat properly, from where she's half like sprawled out, and like will take a swig, and then is going to focus on putting up some mind shields.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead. So, how many successes are you aiming for with your mind shield?
I want it to last the day,
Okay.
so
That's 3
and then
successes.
so at least that, and then would like to put a decent amount into making like a proper shield. So I guess at least 5. Fingers
Okay.
crossed.
All right, 5 successes. All right, so you're going to be at difficulty of 6 for this. Are you spending any quintessence or using your specialty focus, specialty practice?
So using alcohol is one of her cult of ecstasy foci specifically.
So let's say
for
that's going to be
mind.
difficulty of 4 then.
Okay, and yes, I will spend a quintessence then, I think.
All right, difficulty 3. You're shooting for 5 successes. Are you spending a willpower?
Yes, I will spend willpower.
Okay.
That is not my pencil that does willpower. Okay, hold on. Okay. So you said difficulty of 3, and I've got 1 success from the willpower
Yep.
already.
So roll your rarity.
Okay, well that was only 1 success because my dice hate me.
Okay, so you're halfway there. You can continue rolling at difficulty
Gonna keep going.
difficulty 5.
Let's go up. Oh yeah, because I didn't spend another quintessence, so difficulty 5. Yeah. And that is a 10.
Okay, you
Which
can
is-
choose to re-roll that 10 or take it as 2.
I'm gonna take it as 2.
Okay.
And I should be up to
Alright.
6 to keep going, because that's think put me at 4. 4 successes?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
I'll do 1 more.
Yeah, you can keep it going.
And yeah, 1 more success.
Okay,
So that's 5 total.
sounds good. All right, so taking a quick swig of it and feeling into it, you're going to have, for the day, a difficulty 3, or a 3-depth shield, basically. Okay, anyone else doing anything on the way?
No, I think that's it for me. I've done plenty of magic so far in the last like 20 minutes.
I think
Fair.
Darcie's as we're going into the, as we're riding along in the cage, and she sees that the force's shield is up. She'll turn and go, "Oh, we have the key, right?" Before I realize we're in the carriage right now, on the way, but we do have the key to get into the tower. What is our plan? Are we just going to walk
Don't
in like we know the place?
Oh, I
have no idea. I don't even know where it's in there or where it is or any of that. So
All right.
so we
I imagine we would like to be
luck.
out of sight and probably try to not gather attention. As I am sure my face has been circulated as not thrilled with.
I wonder if there's a way that we could use, I mean, if I am able to sense magic, I'm sure they would, but is there any way to maybe blur your face or make it not last in people's memories at all?
Well, theoretically, yes. I could. Chas is thinking whether or not she can do a mind effect that makes us forgettable.
Because I
I'm
see.
trying to remember, isn't there a background that does that?
Yeah, arcane.
I know there's a background. I was
Is that
wondering
the
if there would be.
Arcana background or arcane background?
Arcane, yeah.
Arcane.
I do have
So-
2 points in that myself.
Yeah. So you can absolutely use Mind 3 to make yourself just not noticeable.
Yeah, and I think at this point we said that my mind had taken effect because I bought the 3rd point of that like 8 games ago.
Yeah,
So.
that works for me.
Okay. This might take a moment. I'll give it a try. Bottoms
Also-
up, I guess, and she's gonna chug more of the gin because that's what she do.
Okay.
And we'll close her eyes.
So how long and how many people?
The 4 of us, to make us forgettable.
Okay, so
I
that's
don't know
going to
how
be
I
4
don't think-
successes
Yeah.
plus duration.
Yes.
So you'll need 6 successes on this to make it last for the day. 5 successes for the scene.
All right, we're gonna willpower that.
Okay.
Is there any way that, so like
can-
using the silencing effect from forces, would that be able to coincide with making us not as noticeable?
It could, but you couldn't actually do a conjunctional effect unless you both had mind.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I forgot that's the thing.
So
Darcie could also.
I had
Right.
the same thought and then was like, I don't have mind.
the best you could do is probably give Chas some of the tasks you have.
Ooh. Yeah.
I
that's
just
true.
have blood I just have my blood vial, which I don't. I know I took one thing of it. I forget how much uses you said that the blood vial had.
I think 1 or 2.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think Darcie doesn't have any tasks.
I think Tass is gonna eye the mushroom she picked and is gonna just like. Let's give it a shot. So she'll.
I mean, you could use Prime 3 to suck the Prime out of that without eating it.
True. Okay.
Or you just eat it.
Whatever is the most straightforward answer here, she's not thinking
Straightforward,
very
just
hard.
eating it. It'll
She's
get you
just gonna eat it. She's
Okay.
like, all right.
Make me
she's
a
gonna
stamina
cup. Okay.
difficulty of 7.
Oh, good. I botched, I think, because that's a 1 and a 3.
Oh no.
Okay.
We spent willpower?
No,
Not
that
on
I
the
had.
stamina roll.
Yeah.
I spent willpower for the
Never
spell.
mind.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
All right. Well, that's good. So for the mind spell though, you'll have 1 point of quintessence, and I'll give you a
Which-
-1 difficulty on it.
Amazing.
So you're going to be at a difficulty of 4 if everybody takes drinks together.
Yep, I will absolutely pass the thing around. Okay. Just, yep. Let's get this going. So you said it was a difficulty of 4?
Difficulty of 4.
Oh,
Okay.
that is strong, Dr. Taylor. Oh.
And that's with the quintessence
Ow,
spent
That is
from the task?
Yes. Oh wait,
Okay.
no, it's not. No, it's not. That's difficulty 3 then.
Okay. So 3 for the first round, and then it'll go up because, yeah. Okay, so first round is giving me 4 with the willpower I spent.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
Okay, so
Okay.
difficulty of 4 for the second round.
Yep.
We're just
That's
all getting hammered.
1.
and high.
1 more.
Okay, difficulty 6 if you want to keep it going.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, here's where you botch.
It is not actually where I botched.
Oh.
It's where I got a 9, a 9, and a 1, so that's 1 success at least.
Nice. That's
All right,
6.
1 success.
Yeah, so that's 6, and that's what you said I wanted, right? For duration to get the rest of us?
Yep,
For
that'll
scene?
mean that you are innocuous for the rest of the day, so long as you don't draw immediate attention to yourself.
Nice.
Meaning that you're an NPC
Beautiful.
to everybody for the rest
nice.
of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that went to my head real fast.
I'm sure that magic trumps flaw, but I do have a flaw that is in direct opposition.
That's fair. I will give them a penalty, but to not remember you, but not a straight out hand wave.
Cool. Sounds good.
It'll be like, wow, did you see that guy with the weird hair who was walking downtown? Oh yeah, like blue hair, right? No, I think it was green.
Yeah.
But weird hair, right? Yeah, weird hair.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna lean up against the closest person, just gonna kind of like latch onto their arm, just be like, whew. Whoa, that's strong.
Are you all right there?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. This is great. This is
Pick a direction to vomit.
good. Left.
Who's to your left? The way I picture it, you said that you were leaning on the person to your right, which means to the left is the door.
All right.
Do you manage to get the door open before you cover it in your own puke? Let's find out.
Find
Give
out
me-
what's a success.
Give me a dex check. Roll me
Oh,
dex
okay.
at I'm gonna say 8 because it was sudden.
No, that's 2 3s.
Okay, so you're gonna go, oh, that was strong, and then just turn and projectile vomit red tinged like pink vomit onto the window.
Oh, I think that was breakfast.
Josephine picks it, grabs the satchel, the sachet
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Okay, and I think
Darcie's
that's
the
a good moment to cut away as you all reach down and just hold up the thing that Dr. Taylor made.
Yep.
And the poor cabbie just doesn't hear any of that.
He doesn't hear any of it, and he his mom taught him well. The cab was super clean. This is how you spend your time in London, folks. I can't wait till we get to France.
I feel really bad for him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can entropy and matter help at all?
Entropy 3, yeah, if you have a disinfectant. You do have alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got all sorts of chemicals in my bag. All neatly vialed and like plugged up with wax and corks and
Okay, yeah, you could use matter 3 and entropy 3 to absolutely disinfect and destroy that matter.
okay. I
Okay.
will.
Okay, go ahead and just give me the roll. Give me the roll at difficulty 7.
Okay.
Difficulty 6 because you've got a whole slew of chemicals. This is going to take a bunch of your chemicals down, though. You'll have to restock many of them.
We're going to a market. Hey.
Yeah.
True.
That is 3 successes.
Okay.
One of which is a 10.
Okay, so are you gonna take it as 2 or reroll it?
I'll re-roll it. Just try. This is my first 10 of the night, so we'll see. Just one more success then.
One more success? Well, that's the gamble.
So 4.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same. It counts the same then. You are going to just like dump a ton of chemicals on, and they're going to start to like bubble, and like the bubbles are going to just scrub all of the things off. They're
I mean,
bubbles that
scrubbing
scrub.
bubbles.
It's yes, not sponsored.
Josephine watches this happen and goes, just mutters under her breath, like, it's probably better than lighting it on fire. Which was her solution to the whole thing.
All right, and
So at the rate we're going, I'm going to have to refresh my bag. I'm running out of many things.
Well, it is a good thing we're heading to a market. Then maybe we could try and refill some of your
Yeah, I could
chemicals.
probably use some things too.
It's true. I'm not sure how much of a black market may help, but we can always hit a regular market on the way.
It's true. They might have some of the weirder things that I would like to
That's
look at.
true.
Yeah, I'm sure I could always do with a refill of herbs and see if they have any interesting animal
Which
bones and such.
I rethought my earlier statement of that my vials were corked with cork and wax. I think I've actually done the proper, like, the wire stoppers that pull a rubber piece down hard.
Mhm.
So like those fancy
the ones with
the fancy cider bottles,
and the beer
that
bottles
style,
that
but
have
for a
that, like-
smaller little vial type thing.
absolutely. The ones that make the shotgun noise when you uncork them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're very, very careful. You can muffle that if you're very careful. But it takes a bit of effort.
All right. And with that, we cut ahead. The time passes, and the inside of the carriage no longer smells like vomit as your suds have eaten away. You're pulled over on the side of the road where you asked to be let out, next to the River Thames. The cabbie opens the door and sniffs, but makes no mention of it as he holds the door open for you, seeing that there's like a slight frothy foam on the inside of his door and nothing else.
Just before, like, kind of as we were pulling up, Josephine would make sure to untie her bits of rope so that it doesn't look even more strange in here.
Yeah, the cabbie's just like, what the fuck are these women about?
Women.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is where
Obviously, it
you'd
just
like to
is
be
under-
let out?
I believe so.
so. Evelyn will
Ah.
kind of look just to make sure of where they are, and fish the coins out of her purse to pay him if it is in fact the right side of the bridge. And
Yep. Thank you very much. He'll take that from you and wish you well. And
he pays him a slightly bit more than necessary as like thanks for the very lovely clean cab.
Yes,
sort of thing.
Of course. Thank you.
Very quietly.
You. And he lets you alone. What do you do?
Right. Well, I suppose we should find this door. It's supposed to be underneath, I believe. Underbridge, he said.
Looking around, there doesn't seem to be very many places that a market like that could be. And then over to the side of the bridge, you can see that much of it has been fenced off so that you can't go straight down to the actual dockside itself. And amidst that old rickety wooden fencing there is a gate with a large padlock on it that is hanging haphazardly open, barely connecting two lengths of thick rusted chain.
I reckon that's
That looks all right. That looks promising.
Definitely looks unsavory.
Darcie's gonna like pull her cloak kind of tightly around her and just, shall we venture into the market then?
Is Chastity doing all right standing up?
Yeah, how is Chas?
I figure she's standing, but a little unsteady.
Which
Josie
Evelyn's
will
going to
offer her
activate
arm.
Arcane
Mm-hmm.
as well. So it doesn't really.
So it's always on in tabletop, just so you know. It's not like
Oh,
in
okay.
live action play. In LARP version, you spend a point of it, folks, if you didn't know, and it works for the preceding scene. In tabletop, it's always a bonus difficulty to remember you.
I was just basing it off of the White Wolf wiki,
They
which saying you can drop it at any time, but I'm assuming that's then based on LARP.
Oh, I wonder if they change that in M20. Either way, then it can be. You
But-
can try to be a little more inconspicuous.
Okay.
But Josie will offer her arm to Chastity to be like, let's go.
Arm, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we're not memorable.
It's true.
With that, do you step through?
Yeah.
On the other side, you are able to easily pull the lock and chain off. But even as you do, you notice that there's not really much of a need to. It seems to be more decorative than anything, but the gate swings wide open even with the chain held tight. It's not attached on one side. It's a false gate. The door slides open about 3 feet before suddenly becoming wedged in an outcropping of mud at one corner. You can see that there is a winding pathway that leads down the bank to the river, where there, nestled underneath London Bridge, are a series of barges. Haphazard, hastily made planks connecting them to the shore through spiked drawbridges. Those of you with any history knowledge might think of it as the same type of apparati that the Romans used to use to turn naval battles into land battles. Basically, bridges with spikes like teeth that they would go onto other ships, except they have attached these to the shoreline.
This is a really cool image I'm having in my head right now. Just saying. This is cool.
Can I get a perception and alertness roll from everyone who's here?
I also need to buy dots in alertness, Robin realizes. I'm saving up for life 4, man. I'm saving up.
I'm assuming I have penalties to perception based
Yes.
rules.
Yeah, you're going to be at a +2. Everybody else, give me it at, due to the fog, give me it at 7. So you're going to be at 9, Chas.
You all right?
I believe in you.
Oh, my
Oh,
dice.
you shouldn't, because
me
I didn't make
today.
it.
Did you botch?
No, I just didn't succeed.
Yeah, I didn't succeed either. Oof.
Actually,
Rolled
you know
a
what? Give me
9 and
another
a
stamina roll.
3 successes for me.
3 successes.
Stamina, I got a 7 and an 8.
Okay. You're starting to feel a bit better. By the midway point of this scene, you'll probably not have those penalties anymore. The vomiting helped.
Is there anything that Darcie sees with Prime Sight up? Is there any magic around here?
What'd you get on your perception and alertness roll?
Oh, I failed that, so I guess that doesn't really do much.
Okay. So looking around, you can see that there are occasional flickers and flares, kind of like swamp gas moving over some of these different barges. You can see that there is a little bit of magic around here, a little bit of quintessence glowing in some of the baskets down on the shoreline. All in all, I'd say there are about 11 boats. Mostly 6 large barges, but 5 other smaller boats that meander and mingle through. Some as small as rowboats, some quite a bit larger. Not quite yachts, but say sloops, maybe? For those who don't know boats, like myself, I know that a barge is large, because it rhymes with large. But 3 successes there. Evelyn, how many successes did you get?
Sorry, what was the...
Perception and alertness, difficulty of 7.
Okay.
Because of the fog.
Does my detail-oriented apply?
Yes, it will for this.
Four.
4, okay. 3 and 4, about the same. So as you're looking around, Darcie, you will see that, like, in the distance, the fog bank is obscuring quite a few of the larger barges, but there are some things kind of glittering in the fog in your prime sight. So there is magical things out there. As you are looking around, Evelyn and Josephine, you're going to see that the people that are working these boats are a mishmash of, well, of all manner of people, but for the most part, they look like immigrants, for the most. A lot of people with darker skin tones. You'll see that quite a few, you're thinking maybe Chinese, working some of the boats. Some of the boats are decorated very, very brightly with old, peeling red paint adorning the trims. But you'll also notice, as you're looking around, that there are a couple of people that are making their way around, kind of keeping a watch on things, protectively. Dressed in dark clothes with dark, frilled shirts. Full, long petticoats and top hats. Moving here and there, long trains, tails coming off of their almost tuxedos. There are 3 of them that you notice, one just disappearing into the fog. Men with long hair tied back in ornate patterns at the base of their skulls, beneath their hats. You'll also see that there's a small boat making its way through the fog toward one of the pile caps. So, like, when you're looking at London Bridge, there are 2 pile caps that are the piles that the bridge is built on. Basically the foundations, the foundation caps.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they're heading over around one of those, kind of maybe on a patrol. You can see a lantern through the fog.
So the 3 figures that we could see, it was tailcoats, top hats, long hair, and petticoats?
Like frilled shirts. Like...
Oh, okay. I thought
think?
you meant skirts.
No. Although one of them is wearing a petticoat.
Okay.
But they're wearing clothing that is a bit out of date. a bit more, I shudder to say the word, but romantic. Lots of lace on display.
Hmm.
Do you head down?
If this seems to be where we're supposed to be going.
This is quite a unique arrangement.
Is there
Hopefully
anything
none of
anywhere
us
about the Edgeworth Club?
slip.
Are you asking me a question?
Is there anything anywhere like indicating anything about the Edgeworth Club?
Nothing that you see right now.
Don't really want to go down to the muck of the Thames.
Isn't it a black market? Wouldn't it be somewhere gross?
Well, generally you have to be able to access it still without looking horribly out of place. Generally the purpose of a black market is to be secret.
Can Josie kind of like nudge Chastity's over to one of the others, just like kind of give them her arm, be like, here, hold this.
Oh yeah,
Darcie
move very
will
easily.
take Chas.
And then rummage in her bag and pull out her telescope, which I guess now is working because
Yeah, I believe
it's
that
been a
Evelyn
while.
fixed the telescope of yours.
And I couldn't remember, and I wasn't sure if there had been time. So anyways, yeah, it's fixed. I can use correspondence again. And I'm going to try and, with correspondence, maybe prime if I have to, something to try and figure out, you know, where we might need to go, if that makes sense.
Sure. You're just kind of, you have correspondence too?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me that at a difficulty of 6.
Cool.
Difficulty of 5 because you have the spyglass. What are you asking?
I'm curious, because I haven't used this attribute at all game so far, but I'm wondering how... I know Darcie wasn't super perceptive, so I don't know if you'll be able to answer this other than Darcie just going and literally walking up to people.
Okay.
But do the people look friendly at all? Like, what is there a general, like, a vibe check of this place?
What trade are you talking about?
I'm wondering about using my charisma and charming in. Just Darcie's gonna go straight up and ask people where she.
I
could
mean,
be
they look
directed
kind of
to.
secretive and they look like ne'er-do-wells, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people.
All right, I think Darcie is just gonna start wandering, and she's gonna put on her best, like, sweet Irish child, and walk up to the closest vendor.
You'll walk up. It's a fairly old, grizzled Chinese woman, wearing a broad hat to keep the fog and rain off of her head, dressed in a kind of like vermilion button up with like the knotted buttons up the front. Tending a barge that is full of all manner of fish in baskets, both dead and alive, different like glass enclosures, and has a little covered area that you see. There are a number of different glass like aquariums and cases and cages. There's also quite a few different animals that are moving around there that are kind of like kept in cages that are not aquatic. Several dogs, cats, and so on. As you're heading down there, though, Josephine, what'd you get on your roll?
I got 3 successes. So she'll take out her telescope. She'll like take one of her powders and just kind of rub it around the end so that she can just, you know, look through a little bit of... I'm doing some weird sort of bird watching.
Okay. So it takes a little bit of time for you to do so, but you are going to see that presently the barges, the largest of the ships there, are kind of in the shape of like a lightning bolt, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of
Okay.
kind of like a double 7. And the things that you were looking for are on the 4th barge.
Excellent. So I will relay this information quietly.
At least most of them, you're pretty sure. There's an herb
Yeah.
seller there who has actually this is a rather dirty looking man, like covered in soil. I'd say that just glancing at him, he may be Middle Eastern, Egyptian, something, but he's covered in dirt. The side of his barge has all of these different plants and herbs and things growing out of like soil pots that have been like dragged painstakingly onto this barge. It's like it's a roving botany ship.
Cool. Okay, so as much as I out of character appreciate that description, my description to the others is the 4th barge looks planty.
Great.
Darcie laughed. I'm just gonna point over to Darcie who's walked up to the person.
Okay, you approach the old woman. She looks up at you. Hello.
Is it what time of day is it?
It's getting close on noon.
Noon. Good morning. I'm just wondering, do you know where I could find some herbs?
Herbs?
For medicine and such?
Blue flag. You want the barge blue flag? You need medicine? I have medicine.
What kind?
Herbs bad
of
for your
medicine?
health. I have good medicine. You have.
I'm I quite believe in my herbs though. I use them quite
herbs
frequently.
are weak. You need good medicine. Here, and here, come. She goes to grab at your sleeve. Can you do me a favor? Make me a charisma and what do you want to throw in there? You said you were going to charisma.
Either expression or empathy. What either of those?
Charisma and empathy is a good bargaining one.
Yeah. All right. And would charming apply for this?
Yes. What are you saying, Jess?
When Chastity says Darcie went over there, Josephine kind of looks over and goes, "Oh, that's a good idea because I have naive."
Great.
What is my difficulty, Kelly?
Difficulty of 6.
All right. I did roll a 10 on that, so that's nice. I'll re-roll that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I rolled a 10 again. 5. I rolled a 10 again. 6. Jesus Christ. All right, so 6 successes. I rolled a 10
6
3
successes.
times. I rolled a 10 3 times.
That's beautiful. She is going to kind of like help you on board her ship. You're a nice girl. You're looking for a man? I have many things that can help you with that.
Well, I think she's making friends.
Oh, many pretty girls. Come, look at my things.
Oh,
Come.
no, we're just...
You need pet? And she'll
Plants.
pull up a cage, and you'll see that a tentacle reaches out of the cage and kind of like shakes a kind of greasy black tentacle at you.
Josephine suddenly
lovely
looks
seeing
interested.
that, too.
You know krakens? This is a kraken.
Too small for a kraken.
It's baby.
Baby?
Kraken.
That makes sense.
Evelyn
I
will
think
kind
I'm
of
okay.
readjust her hat and make sure the hat pin's secure and come over and ask if they have any of the herbs that she's looking for.
No herbs. Better. Much better. Do you need...
It's on the blue
specifically
flag.
for that for a particular recipe, but so the blue
You want
flag,
recipe? You
said.
need meat. You want dinner? You want kraken for dinner?
No.
No, thank you though. It's been thank you for your advice, and I think Darcie will push over like whatever's the smallest.
What would be a
form
good,
of
like,
currency.
tip sort of
Yeah,
thing?
what would be a good tip
Probably
for like
like
couple copper? Or
yeah,
shilling?
basically like a
few
tuppence,
pence.
maybe.
Pence? Yeah. Okay. She'll pull a
I
couple
have
pence and
I
say,
have fin. I have penis.
no, thank you. Just
You have a
information.
man. But man needs to be more virile.
I think
Oh, I
it's
believe he's
20.
plenty.
Josephine looks at the Kraken and pulls out the like money she stole from the grave.
Oh my god.
And just she has no idea how much things cost or what this money is. So she has pulled out all of the like 9 pence that you said she had.
Yep.
And is just looking at it in her hand and being like, do I buy a baby Kraken? It's not a baby Kraken, but do I buy it?
Thank you. We're going to the Blue Flag apparently. That's where the herbs are.
Ah, and they're part of the Edgeworth Club, Underbridge.
You here with Edgeworth?
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I recommended that they be able to find
Give you a good
our
deal on
things.
Kraken. Good deal. Very good deal.
Does she look scared?
How much for the Kraken?
You were with Edgeworth? She looks at Darcie.
Yes.
Evelyn will slip some more money in Josephine's hand.
Yes, we're with Edgeworth.
Is 5 shilling. 5 shilling plenty?
Josie's gonna lean over to Evelyn and be like, which one's a shilling?
I think
Now, this lady seems all of a sudden very nervous since I mentioned Edgeworth, right?
Basically, like you just said that, like, yeah, she seems very tense.
She
We
suddenly
just said we're
realizes
the
what we
cops.
might be.
Yeah.
Based on that, I'll push what coins I think would be a fair price.
For an octopus, that would be a few pounds. Like, for, like...
Why
So-
are we buying an octopus?
I
Darcy's
don't
looking
know,
at.
well, but I'm down for it.
I will suggest to Josephine which ones to offer and that it will be a bit more than what she asked for.
Okay. And Josephine will follow that advice.
You keep basket. If you want,
you.
I have real rhino horn.
I don't think we need rhino
I've
horn.
many cures. I have jerky. I have jerky pemmican.
certainly
no.
we'll keep you in mind. Thank you.
And Evelyn will nod to her and look for the path to get over to the other barge.
So you'll be easily able to make it over. The second barge is one where someone is selling all manner of pipes and what looks like contraband. Looks like opium, looks like liquor, looks like all sorts of things. Tobacco. This man is patently British, though, and as you approach, he looks at you with this, like, broad, wide face, missing most of his teeth, and... G'day, loves. What are you doing? Looking for a bit of a resupply? Having a party, are we?
No,
Looking for
no
a few
party,
different things.
but I'm interested.
Well, I don't know if our friend means to use them for a party or not, but I'm not quite sure how he would do that. I need more spearmint, golden lovage, and holy moly.
Spearmint? I ain't got spearmint. I've got
Well, I'm sure I can find it somewhere else.
I've
but...
got peppermint schnapps.
No, I'm looking for herbs.
Ah, you want the tech. Blue flag. Sure, I can't offer you anything, ladies. I've got reefer from the Americas. I've got hookahs.
I should bring
straight
some back
out
for
of-
Teddy.
I've got coca. I've got a bit of the dragon smoke. I've got what have I got?
Oh, I've heard of coca before.
Yeah, I've got a fancy little snuff box here. I do.
We'll keep you in mind. Thank you.
He'll go back to, like, smoking on a rather ornately carved pipe of a mermaid.
Evelyn will keep moving to try and get to what she's interested in.
And can I get another perception and alertness roll from you?
Certainly.
Everybody, however, I would only like this from Jen and Christine because they're the only ones who noticed the people before. Nobody said anything about them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is going to be difficult.
Detail oriented still?
Detailed oriented will apply.
What was the difficulty on that?
Difficulty is going to be 7 because of the fog.
2.
2. Okay.
5.
Okay. You are going to notice that the one that was kind of like toward you on this vessel has vanished from view of the gentlemen of the dark garbed figures, and the other one has moved toward the one in the fog and appears to be conversing with them, kind of gesticulating. Evelyn, you're pretty sure that they're the one who went into the fog after the one in the petticoat that was stepping further into the fog is gesturing back toward you, like basically telling the one in the petticoat, hey, there are some people over here.
I'm going to bring it to the attention of the others and just quietly. Have you noticed the ones in the odd cloaks? Or the odd coats and top hats?
No, where?
Over there.
Seen
I
them.
think they're referencing us. Or at least me. One's vanished, but there's 2 over there now. There were 3. They look quite odd.
Is anything going off
Old-fashioned.
with Desi's prime sight up?
There is make me a perception and awareness roll.
Cap, does resonance apply?
No, it will not, because you're
Okay.
not specifically looking for resonance.
Okay. What is my difficulty?
Difficulty on this is always 8.
8. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's 2 successes. I had what,
successes.
3 except for once.
A little tingle runs up your spine, and you are going to see a little flare of magic come from the one in the skirt. You can see the figure raise a hand kind of up to their face and make a quick gesticulation. And there is a little flare around you that you'll recognize as Prime. Well, they are using it, so they flare with Prime magic.
Yeah. Darcie will kind of turn to the group in like a slightly nonchalant way, maybe like look down at her cloak and like like try and fix something and look like so she's trying to like get her mouth away, and be like, Petticoat is using prime magic. They're a magic user, and they're looking right at us.
Evelyn, it is at this point that you will notice that the missing person, the one that was standing near the opium barge, is actually inside of your field of view. As you move to step on the gangplank toward number 3, which is this barge that's overflowing with like various cloths and clothing, you can see that they are kind of half hiding amidst the reams of fabric, kind of like squatting down like they're tying their shoe. But it's with 5 successes, it's pretty obvious that they are not doing a great job. Josephine, you're going to be able to see the tip of the hat for sure. But you're naive. I don't know how you take it, but
Yeah, I probably don't think there's anything strange.
Are we close enough that they would hear if I said anything, or...
no, there's about a 10-foot gap between the ships, so if you mutter. The fog is also blanketing a decent amount of noise.
There's the 3rd one. I believe they're spying on us.
So what do you do?
Want to do?
Well, we need to get to the barge with a blue flag, so let's go.
All right.
We're aware of them.
Yes. Continue onward.
All right. Heading over further, you make your way onto the third barge, even just to take a step off of it. And as you step onto that, a Persian woman in her 40s leans forward and goes, "Yes, beautiful ladies, are you looking to perhaps update your wardrobe?"
Not at this time. We're actually just trying to get over to one with the blue flag. Thank you.
Oh, then piss off, then.
I'm sure I might come back, but don't have the
But then you'll
funds
be
at the
welcome
moment.
back with open arms, my love.
Well, that's just fantastic to know. Thank you. Have a good day.
I mean, and while they're doing the herbs, I'll look at some of the... You know what? Never mind. Chester's gonna follow after.
Heading over into the next barge, you are going to see that there is a man working there in the soil, and as you step on, there will be a little bit of a bank as the barge adjusts to the added weight of your combined, like, 500 pounds maybe. He'll look up and, "Hello?
Good afternoon, sir. We are looking to purchase a few herbs from you, if you have them in stock, of course.
Yes. What do you need?"
Do you have any spearmint?
Yes, I have spearmint.
Holy moly?
Yes, holy moly. Yes, I have.
Golden lovage or silphium, if golden lovage is
Silphium.
not available.
It's much that you ask of me.
I had heard this was the place to come.
Silphium is very rare. Doesn't exist for many people.
Well, I wouldn't consider myself many people.
What would you consider yourself?
Quite a scientist, I suppose.
He's going to give you an appraising look. Now, standing, he's about 5'8", fairly squat, husky build, with the build of a man who works in the dirt a lot of squatting, a lot of crawling, a lot of bear-like muscles along him. Fairly compact frame, though. And as he kind of looks you over, he raises a monocle out of his pocket, wearing nothing but a set of long sleeves and a very filthy vest. He takes it out, brushes it off on the clean bit of shoulder.
I would have restarted my matter thing for the scent as well once we got here. Because you
No,
said it
it's
was
still
only going to
gonna-
last till we got here.
Sure.
So that will be active.
Sounds good. He is going to... Ooh, that's good. He's going to polish his spectacle off and... Pardon me, monocle. Adjust it and look through it at you, kind of squinting with his gray eyes. You're a strange bunch.
This is quite a strange market as well. Feel
I
like
suppose
we
I've heard
fit
Darcie
in.
called a witch before, but never been grouped in as a
Which?
strange bunch. You might, I suppose.
All right, just before I say the phrase, would cabal be a common term for a group of mages?
100%.
I mean, I suppose we might be a bit of a strange cabal, but they're darlings all the same.
You are one of those.
I was told the Edgeworth Club might be able to supply what I needed.
The Edgeworth Club does many things. They are watching you right now.
Ah, I noticed.
You are here to buy
Just
rare
some herbs.
goods.
The herbs I listed.
Do me a favor. Make me a charisma plus charisma plus empathy, charisma plus expression. Probably expression would be better for me on this.
I don't have either of those.
Well,
I'm blunt.
you took point.
Yup.
Well, I was the one asked to purchase them, so.
Fair.
All right, so just straight charisma then?
Straight charisma.
And is this one where I take a negative for not having these, or?
No. This is just
Sweet.
basic talking to people.
Okay. Which actually, come to think of it,
Yes,
do my
Will Tar?
enchanting feature help at all with this? I have enchanting eyes.
Mhm.
A 2 point. That is a 10 and a 9.
Okay. All right. Did Zoom just do a thing? Zoom kind of did a thing. One second.
So system-wise, you reduce difficulty by 2.
Okay, so that'll be difficulty of 4.
Okay, that's still just 2 successes then.
Okay.
Fortunately, the third die was a 3.
I can do this thing for you. You are witches, Verbana.
Just myself.
I think Josie's like playing with the octopus. It's like, new friend.
And the odd one with the, yeah. I would
I've
consider myself more of a scientist, an etherite, perhaps.
This is a word I do not know.
Lots of weird words. It's kind of a science thing, I think.
I am Khan. Khan, the Turk.
Con?
Pleasure to meet you.
K-A-N. Or KN?
Evelyn.
Might be KN. It's probably KN,
KN.
actually.
Kane. Oh, that's gonna be hard with my accent. I'm so sorry.
Just try to say Kane.
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane. Darcie's gonna struggle.
Well, I'm not going to change his name now. I'm
No,
sad.
it's fine. It's great. I said Darcie's just gonna try and struggle over that.
Yes,
Pleasure to meet you.
Of course. I can sell what is needed.
Thank you.
Do you also have any other just basic herbs for medicinal use? I could use a top up of some for myself. Nothing so exotic as some
Yes.
of those.
I have everything. If it grows, I can get it. Do you need mandrake root?
I do.
I have.
So at
Do you want
minimum, I
things
need
that-
several sprigs potentially, but what
I can do
what
this
you might
for you.
have.
It's very rare, very expensive. Does not grow here. Last bit of my stock. The original supply ran out back in the conquest of Rome.
Well, I mean, golden lovage is
No, but I have.
substitutable.
Is a secret.
Ah,
Is an expensive secret.
oh, do tell.
How much do you have?
How much do you want?
£50.
How much do I actually have?
Not £50.
I will bargain. Christine is not good at that.
That's fair.
But I will
Are you going to
happily
try
bargain.
to bargain with him?
I was gonna say Darcie is probably familiar with bargaining.
I'm going to say it's going to be manipulation and subterfuge to bargain. That sounds like the best thing.
I have manipulation, but I do not have subterfuge.
Josie
I have
is
intelligence.
not going to try. Josie has manipulation 1 and no subterfuge. So I'm
I
busy
would
with the
allow
others.
charisma if you had to. Anybody?
Well, I can just roll manipulation.
Mhm.
Can I kind of couch it as doing it intelligently?
Sure.
But I'm just gonna roll I've just got 2 dots, so just 2 die, I guess. Ooh, double 8s.
Okay. Guess you're right. That was my little joke. £50. You would not be foolish enough to come to the floating market with £50 on you, with no man to protect you.
I don't particularly need a man, but they are a good visual deterrent.
Yes. Yes.
I'd rather
very
not
good.
have to defend myself.
Very good. I would bring a man too. I would bring a much larger man. Everyone thinks that Khan is the Kayan is very easy to push around, but he is not. He is a very, very wily man, very in low center of gravity.
That's probably very useful for being on a floating store.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I quite find most men do not expect my umbrella.
Are there any like plants that are looking particularly like struggling?
No, actually, everything on here is thriving.
Darn, I have my green thumb that I was going to.
Well, make me a perception and survival roll.
All right.
Otherwise, Evelyn's going to continue haggling and trying to get down to. She would like a little bit of leftover so that she can use it for herself. So continue haggling with kind of hints of, oh, well, your wares are so good. Future patronage. That sort of theme of like,
Future
she'd come
patronage.
back.
I will give you a fair deal if you tell me what you have to pay with. And I will resupply your friends.
She'll name what she has.
Okay. He'll actually make you a fairly fair deal. You feel like you're getting like not a huge amount of what there, only a sprig or so of the silphium. Silphium? I can never pronounce it. The sylph. But you'll be able to get everything else there as well. Darcie, as you're looking around, what'd you get on that roll?
I got, what's my difficulty?
Difficulty of 6.
Okay, and then with green thumb, I actually do reduce the difficulty of all non-arete rolls by 2.
Okay, so difficulty of 4 for horticulture.
Yeah, so that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay. You'll see that most everything here is working quite well, is thriving. And some of it is stuff that you've never seen before, like weird hybrid plants. Like, we're talking like grapple type of stuff, like grape apples, like grapes the size of apples, and a couple of, actually you'll see that there's a small tree of apples kind of shunned away in the back that has a couple of little like small like crab apple sized apples coming off, but they look like they're painted with gold. As you're looking around as well, you see the only thing that is struggling at all is a singular plant kind of shoved away at the back that is a small rose plant, like a small rose bush that's been kind of potted along like a little like trellis, I imagine is how you'd have to do it, like a little like stake trellis. And the rose buds themselves are patently velvet black. But it is an actual growing rose. Mm-hmm. Which, if I'm not mistaken, those don't actually grow in real life. Those are all goth affectations. This seems fair. I can resupply all of you.
Do you mind if I have a look at your rose over there?
Yeah, is a hybrid. It's failure. Do not touch the apples, please. Do not stay away from the apples. You do not have enough money.
I won't. I just want to see this one that's struggling a little bit. See if I can give it a bit of a green thumbs touch.
Fine. Don't touch apple.
Could I try and use life magic to make the plant?
You absolutely can. Go ahead. Difficulty 4.
Sweet.
While a bunch of this stuff is going on, I think Josie's realizing like she doesn't do a ton with herbs and plants, so she's not as interested in what's on this boat or this barge. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if either asking if there's somebody who sells like stones or those sorts of things, Mostly, yeah, stones, minerals, stuff like that. Or if just wandering around, I can just see if I find anything that's more interesting to her.
Okay. You see that there is someone who looks like they're working in the middle of a boat doing like steel and stone carving.
Ooh, cool.
A pair of younger people, actually. I'd say like a brother and sister pair from the looks of it, about 16 years old on the next barge over.
Okay. I am also going to say that I am perfectly comfortable at this point wandering away from the group
Okay.
because I am naive and don't know don't know that there might be bad here, so
That
or
sounds good to
weird
me.
anyway.
Darcie, leaning down, you're going to accidentally prick a finger as you do. The blood, or purposefully, the blood is going to dribble down the stem into the soil, and a moment later, the flowers are going to begin to bloom and bristle, take a point of paradox, and just begin to kind of like grow and erupt around into a vibrant set of 3 full buds. I guess 3, not buds. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the full bloomed rose, fully petaled roses.
Flowers opened, fully opened roses.
Yeah,
Flowered,
yeah.
flowering,
Fully
yeah.
flowered.
Fully flowered. Not much of a just needed a bit of extra love.
You are a witch. You take one.
I was just going to ask if the exact thing you able to read my mind there, sir.
They will want it. And as he says that, Josephine, you walk over to the next carriage, to the next barge, and as you are walking along the gangplank, another set of boots is going to press down on the gangplank opposite you, basically on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
And you are going to see that a very tall woman, standing at about 6 feet tall, or a little higher, dressed in deep-set riding boots, dressed in a crushed velvet petticoat, black velvet overcoat with tails, almost like a tuxedo coat, and a very vibrant purple, almost black, ruffled shirt, is going to look your direction. I say, what do we have here? You are here to shop?
Good morning.
So much magic. You and your friends throwing around so much magic.
Is there a problem?
Not a problem, just interesting. What is your name?
Josephine Carrington.
Edie. You may call me Edie.
Nice to meet you.
Are you here seeking fulfillment, magic? I heard you speaking of the Edgeworth Club.
Well, yes, we were looking. I think Evelyn has gotten the herbs and things we were looking for. I'm wanting to go over there and refill my stock.
Your stock? Yes, of course. That should be not a problem at all. Are you, Josephine Carrington?
Yes.
The same Josephine Carrington that we were told about.
You were told about me?
Oui, that was you and Dr. Evelyn Taylor, Chastity, Goodwin, and Darcie Harkness.
So I may be naive, but I also
No,
am.
you're not that naive.
I'm not that naive. So now I'm thinking, something is weird and wrong here.
Are we hearing this? Is she on? So is Josephine still on our barge?
She's not. She's on the midway to the next boat at this point.
Okay, she's midway to the next one.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Not a precarious position. Not at all.
No, not at all. Darcie's like getting the rose from the other guy, so she's distracted by.
Yep.
Kane.
Well, you seem to know a lot about us. As she says that, I'm shifting my balance so I'm less like mid stride and more stable in case something is coming at me. I do have cat-like balance, so.
I know very little about you, but I was told that 4 ladies would be coming here to go visit the doctor. You're
Told
here
by
to
who?
find Gilbert Saxon's lab? Who?
And yes.
By Dr. Saxon. Feel free, shop. If you wish to get in, I will show you if you have his key. He made a generous contribution to the Edgeworth Club.
Thank you.
Of course. I will be waiting on that barge when you are ready. And perhaps then we can... And then you're going to hear shouting off the side of that rowboat that was doing patrols near the next of the pile caps of the foundation of the bridge. 80! 80, we've got a problem over here! Perhaps your shopping could wait a moment?
Perhaps it can.
Gather your friends and shall we sally forth?
Sure thing. And she's gonna turn and head back to the others. We gotta go.
What's going on?
What's the matter?
Those people, fancy clothes. They know we're here. They're offering to take us to the Edgeworth Club. But they have a problem, and so we should probably go now.
Oh,
Well, in that case, I should probably pay you.
Yes, I would like that very much.
She'll hand over the mount agreed, take her sprigs, wrap them carefully, and
He'll
tuck them
wrap
into her
them
bag.
carefully for you in wax paper. Make sure they're perfectly positioned, and will hand them over to you.
She's going to tuck them into a vial, like a fairly wide bottle, but enough that can sit in carefully and not get crushed in her bag, and pop the lid on.
Okay.
and he's giving her a potted rose, or just the like.
He's going to clip it for you.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
There you are.
I
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Come, to tweet.
So Josephine, how likely do we think this is a trap?
I don't believe they're the trap. I believe whatever is about to happen is the problem.
So how did they know who we are?
I don't know. How
Dr.
does everyone
Saxon
else
told
seem
them.
to know us? What?
He's dead.
Yep.
Oh,
Weirdly, that's what made me believe them.
Affecting us.
All right.
All right, let's go help them out, I guess.
And Josephine's gonna turn and just walk off, so
The
Right.
Darcie will follow and just
Helping
like
strangers who know our names, possibly
a
expecting.
trap. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's go.
Let's hope they're traditional. Or
As you head over, the
Reasonable?
woman that identified herself as Edie to you is standing on the edge of a rowboat, piloted by one of those the man who was tying his shoe. There's enough room on this little boat for the 6 of you, and your octopus.
it's my familiar now.
As you step on,
Brand's gonna have a
bonjour,
day.
nice to meet you. Welcome. I can't believe you're doing the damn accent. one says in a very American voice as he begins preparing to row. Shut up. It is part of the mystique. Shall we go?
Yes, where are we going?
Into a trap, probably.
Well, to see what the disturbance is, but I would rather bring 4 mages with me. So that if we have to, how do they say, throw the fireballs? We have many fireballs to throw.
Quite good at
indeed.
starting fires.
So Josephine, they need you.
Yes.
Sure seems that way. I appreciate the rest of you.
I would not mind taking this one at all. She gives you a once over and gives you kind of like a right. She's got like a Kristen Stewart kind of look to her, like a tall Kristen Stewart, but gives you one of those like kind of like half like yeah kind of looks. You know what I'm talking about? With the cocked lip, the really crooked smirks. I would take this one. Was she offering? Alright, I guess not. Shove off. Go on, Pete. Yes, ma'am. And with that, you are launched away from the dock, shaking a bit as he proceeds to row. I am sorry for the inconvenience. I hope it is not much of a problem.
And then what happens? Potentially or not at all?
It's probably nothing. Dr. Saxon came to us and said that he would be expecting visitors sometime within the next fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
He used this the floating market as a way to obscure his laboratory. To mask his coming and going.
That's quite clever.
Oui. I believe so as well. Over here, if you have his key, it should let you in here. Just around the corner. At the bottom of this how you say, foundation? Bloody hell. At the bottom of the foundation.
It
Why
is a
are
good
you
accent.
faking an accent?
Was I thinking? Because it's part of the mystique.
It's a good one.
I'm Madame Edie, protector of the barges and the dark market.
No,
I
that
still
makes
would take a
complete
roll in the
sense.
hay with you, though. Shoot. Oh, it's kind of a bit of a pun. Hayes, Edie Hayes. Pleasure.
Ah.
Although I'm down for a fuck. The guy that's rowing, Pete, just coughs and like almost chokes on some of the fog.
So
wouldn't
you're
worry.
part of the Edgeworth Club?
Yes? She looks like she's maybe 19 years old.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the Edgeworth Club?
A bunch of disenfranchised orphans and ne'er-do-wells who make magic as we see fit. Who see it as the wild and capricious entity that it is. We weren't quite so fortunate as to be shepherded into your fancy traditions. We found magic our own way.
Fascinating. Good for you.
Very. Anyway, I wouldn't worry about it. Whatever Roger's found over there is likely nothing to really, nothing to cast too much care about. He's always a bit of an alarmist.
Better to be prepared.
I
And the rowboat is going to be rounding the corner at this point. You
I
can
don't
see
have
that,
many fans at the moment, so.
you could see that there are iron rungs built in to form a ladder at the base of this pylon, where it kind of goes up, and then kind of there's just the faint outline you can see of this discolored patch. It looks like a large stone bank that has been basically just mismatched stone, miscolored stone, but it's also roughly the shape of a door if you look at it from the right angle. However, that's not what you notice as you come around the corner. What you notice is another boat docked at the base, a frantic, dark-dressed man waving back at you. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I just found him like this. It's Miles. And as he looks up and gestures, you can see that on that spot with the door is a young man of about 15 or 16. His face is, at least. He's been stripped naked and nailed with pylons to the stone of the wall. And what's worse, he has been stripped naked of his flesh from the neck down, flayed to muscle. His guts trailing beneath him.
Oh no.
In blood, next to his face like a speech balloon in a comic. There are 4 words. So soon. My doves. And I think let's call game there.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Oh my god. Man,
This was a shopping trip.
our biggest fan just keeps leaving us love notes in blood
true.
everywhere.
I could do without his
Action, I
courtship,
guess.
thank you very much.
Yeah, I know. I prefer McDuff, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a little nicer, isn't he?
Yeah, he just
Don't blame you.
proposes.
But this guy's proposing too.
What is he proposing?
Terrible
Die.
things.
Death, I'm guessing?
Horrible things.
Yeah, sorry to cut it a little short tonight, guys. I know we were going to do a quicker
Appreciate it.
game, but with the number of crashes that we've had, this seemed like the right place to just give up the ghost so that I can get this repaired before we have to stream on Tuesday.
No,
And the
that's
fact that I have to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's
as well.
gross.
So-
yeah.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
super gross. So, folks, we're going to call it there for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into this shorter, but still hopefully fun episode of Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. We'll be back next week for the ending of the Dr. Saxon part of the plot, maybe. Probably not. But in the meanwhile, I need to do a big thank you to all of our supporters over at patreon.com/dorktales. In particular, I need to thank Shulton, the World Builder, who is our royal patron. I need to thank DM Michael Gray, the Divine patron, as well as my mom, who is also a divine patron. Thank you so much. To Solomon and Becarius, our demonic patrons, and to Tammy, the wizard of the Patreon, who is also a forever cleric. So it's kind of a wizard cleric hybrid combo there.
Multi-class.
Also, quick thank you to Trizelta, the Traveler, Cubby Gummy, Amberthus Buddy, and Taryn, the forever not the Forever Cleric, the Forever Dorktales fangirl. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you want to join them over at Patreon and make sure that this Technocracy game keeps happening and to see it 3 months early, go to patreon.com/dorktales and pledge the $5 tier to be able to get advanced content. There's always at least 1 extra game a month and a podcast that you get access to for that. But it's going to be more like 3 extra games a month soon. So that's a lot. That's a lot of bonus content. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And with that, I think we're gonna call it here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time when we come back to the Victorian Age. Good night, everybody.